massacre in Atlanta. The sounds of terror.
911, quick, we've got an emergency in Piedmont Center. There's a lady that's down. There's an ambulance.
A confession from the grave.
I don't plan to live very much longer. Just long enough to kill as many of the people that greedily sought my destruction.
And the pain of victims' families.
Something unexpressible. I mean, it's not going to be the same.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. Disturbing new insights tonight into the mind of a killer, Mark Barton, the man responsible for the bloody massacre in Atlanta. Letters Barton left behind seem to contain cryptic clues to the demons that pushed him over the edge. We begin our coverage tonight with CBS's Byron Pitts in Atlanta, where the shock of the murders is giving way to anguish tonight.
Today, the office buildings were reopened. Atlanta police provided security. Well-wishers left flowers, but survivors say any sense of safety was shattered yesterday at 2:56 p.m. This wasn't simply mayhem. This was a massacre.
We received a call at 2:56 p.m.
We've got an emergency in Piedmont Center. There's a lady that's down.
10 minutes later, 9 people were dead, 12 injured.
We don't know anything. I mean, we know, but we don't know.
And one man with 2 guns, a deep grudge, and a death wish was missing.
As we got halfway across the street, they said, there he is, he's got a gun.
Police say 44-year-old Mark Orrin Barton had a 9mm, a .45, and a bag full of bullets. According to witnesses, Barton strolled into one brokerage firm where he had been a day trader and killed 4 people, all at point-blank range. From there, he crossed the street, entered a second brokerage house, and killed 5 more times. Employees, customers, anyone in his path.
There's 2 or 3 that were dead on that side of the room, and the majority had various gunshot wounds to the chest, the abdomen, to the back.
Paramedics say there were lives they couldn't save, promises they couldn't keep.
She was shot in the face, and it would appear to be blind, and she just kept referring or asking the question, is she going to be blind? And that sticks with me.
What could you tell her?
I could tell her she's alive. That's the best I could offer.
Here in the heart of Atlanta's financial district, Barton's rage may have seemed random, but south of the city, police found evidence his rampage was planned. Dead in this apartment, his estranged wife and their 2 children, ages 8 and 11. His wife had been dead since Tuesday. The kids killed a day later. Barton laid it all out in this letter left near the bodies.
I hit them with a hammer in their sleep and then put them face down in the bathtub to make sure they did not wake up in pain.
Barton apologized for killing his family, but as for the victims downtown, he said they were killed in anger. The motive was revenge.
I don't plan to live very much longer, just long enough to kill as many of the people that greedily sought my destruction.
12 hours after he wrote that note, police tracked him down, and Mark Orrin Barton kept his word. Friends say Barton was a quiet man, but he'll be remembered here as the deadliest mass murderer in state history. John?
Byron Pitts in Atlanta. Thanks. The Atlanta police say one of the 2 guns Barton was carrying is registered to him and was purchased from a dealer. The other is registered to someone in Texas, and it's unclear how Barton acquired it. In his letters, Barton said he had come to hate this life. But as CBS's Maureen Maher reports, people who knew him had a much different perception.
On a tree-lined street in a southern Atlanta suburb, 44-year-old Mark Barton spent the better part of the last decade living the perfect life with the family he has now confessed to killing.
And these 2 are the most recent pictures that we have when both of the kids played soccer.
Tynese Bryant was Barton's next-door neighbor and knew the family perhaps better than most. Her son Melvin used to babysit for Matthew and Michelle.
To pay a lot of attention to his kids?
Yeah, he played with them a lot.
Friends paint a poetic picture of a man, a scout leader who loved his children, was deeply involved with their lives, and was always first to say hello.
A real friendly guy. Always smiling, always saying something funny, some crazy joke. He was always joking all the time.
But Barton's life appears to have been full of conflicting images. While living a seemingly ideal suburban life, his farewell note read by police today tells of a troubled man behind the mask.
I have been dying since October. Wake up at night so afraid, so terrified that I couldn't be that afraid while awake.
In the letter left at the site of his family's murders, Barton also revealed the motivation behind Thursday's rampage, but emphatically denied another terrible accusation. That in 1993, he murdered his first wife and mother-in-law, who were found beaten to death in this Alabama campground. At the double funeral, Barton stood solemnly near the hearse, even though he was considered the prime suspect, in part because he had taken out a $600,000 life insurance policy on his wife, Deborah. But for a man who worked quietly as a chemist and lately as an investment day trader, he seemed harmless to his neighbors.
But he didn't seem as a threat because children usually have that ability to know if an adult is a good adult or a bad adult. My kids were totally comfortable with him.
I give you Matthew David Barton.
And that was the hardest part for many to believe, the children. Barton's last words about his kids were tough to read, even for cops who have seen it all.
My son, my buddy, my life. Please take care of him. And as to the little girl, the note states, I give you Michelle Elizabeth Barton, my daughter, my sweetheart, my life. Please take care of her.
The father, the husband, the friend everyone thought they knew. Mark Barton proved them all dead wrong. Maureen Maher, CBS News, Morrow, Georgia.
In Sarajevo for a summit today, President Clinton expressed sadness over the Atlanta shootings. He said his thoughts are with the victims, their families, and those still fighting for their lives. The president avoided calling for increased gun control measures, instead saying he would wait for all of the facts from the investigation. Whether or not it had anything to do with the stock market, the massacre in Atlanta has drawn attention to the high-stress business of day trading. It's a new game almost anyone can play at their own risk. CBS's Bill Whitaker looks at day traders, what they do, and why they do it.
Ask almost any day trader. First comes the rush, the dream of instant riches. Then, almost inevitably, comes the low. That note day trader Mark Barton left behind revealed he'd reached the lowest point, vowing to kill as many of the people that greedily sought my destruction.
No matter what they did to this guy, it doesn't justify killing people, but it pushes people to the edge and maybe over the edge.
John Skirsch should know. He lost $320,000 day trading before he realized he'd hit rock bottom. It's not just electronic trade, which the commercials say will help you get rich quick.
Thank you so much for bailing out my country.
Oh, you're welcome. Day traders want to get rich quicker. At trading centers, they watch the market second by second, buying and selling dozens of times a day.
You don't realize how much trouble you're in until you're far too far into the forest and there's no way of getting out.
John Skirsch lost his money at one of the largest day trading firms. He can't say which one because he's cooperating with federal investigators. And sources tell CBS News those investigators soon will be issuing a damaging report on the industry. Massachusetts recently closed down day trading firm Alltech Investment for deceptive advertising. An Alltech branch was one of the offices Barton shot up in Atlanta.
How far is the brokerage firm supposed to take it? I mean, do we now hire in-house psychologists to mentally evaluate you before we let you open an account? I mean, there's only so much they can do to predict how a person's going to react.
The lure of instant riches is a powerful draw, and despite recent negative publicity, market watchers predict day trading will only continue to grow. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, the prospects for new gun control laws in the wake of the Atlanta massacre. We'll tell you about some of the lives cut short by Mark Barton, what the official investigation of the Kennedy plane wreckage has found, and the CBS Weather Watch. The drought forces farmers to make tough choices.
When you were a kid, did you carry a lunchbox? Who was on it? Was it Sir Isaac Newton? Was it Abraham Lincoln? Or was it the A-Team? Introducing the new, redesigned 2000 Mitsubishi Montero Sport. We pity the fool who'd drive anything else.
Got dirty sweat stains? Spray and Wash Advanced Stain Care penetrates faster than Shout and powers out those dirty sweat stains. See? So go ahead and
let them go with Spray and Wash.
It's time. Time for your heartburn to kick in because your heartburn relief gave out. It happens 2 or more days a week, even though you've treated it and changed your diet. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious.
It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about prescription Prilosec. Your results may vary, but for many people, Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief with 1 daily dose. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible. It's Prilosec time.
After examining the wreckage of John Kennedy Jr.'s plane, the National Transportation Safety Board said today there is no evidence that the aircraft broke apart in flight, no evidence of an onboard fire or any problem with the engine or propeller. This confirms what CBS's Bob Orr reported last Monday. Newsday reported today an autopsy found Kennedy was not flying under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or pain medication and had not suffered a heart attack or stroke. On tonight's CBS Weather Watch, with the country roasting in an unrelenting heat wave, energy companies are urging people to cut electricity use to prevent blackouts. Another increasingly scarce resource, water, is also feeling the heat. And the death toll is rising along with the temperatures.
Good morning, 625 is
At daybreak in Chicago, the heat index was already approaching 100.
It will be just plain, simple, ugly outside.
Ugly and deadly. At least 86 people have perished in the heat, 29 of them in Missouri alone, where the mercury has hovered near the century mark for almost 2 weeks.
It's pretty sad. It really is.
In the mid-Atlantic states, where heat and lack of rain have combined into a drought the likes of which no one remembers, farmer Les Paul is letting his corn go dry, using what precious water there is for his blackberries.
The way the weather looks right now, we're not going to get, the rain, so we're just not going to waste our water, in such a small cash crop.
And while there is some relief in the northern plains, east of the Mississippi, it's forecast to get worse by the end of the weekend, with the heat index in triple digits and temperatures expected to hit 100 in the New York City area.
It's down quite a bit from what it normally is.
That's more bad news in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, where wells have dried up and the volunteer fire department's reservoir has reached new lows.
It's a little frustrating, but we really have no control at this point.
New Jersey's governor is expected to announce a drought warning next week, and this morning, New York's mayor urged people to conserve water, or by October, the Big Apple could face a drought emergency. The high temperatures this summer have caused vegetables to ripen faster. That's creating a glut that sent prices plunging for farmers already struggling to get by. In Virginia, for instance, the wholesale price of corn has dropped from $6.50 a crate to $4.50. A follow-up tonight to our recent Eye on America series about the controversy over genetically modified food. The maker of Gerber baby food confirmed today it is dropping suppliers who use genetic engineering in their corn and soybean products. The government insists genetically modified food is safe. Critics, they're not so sure. On the CBS Market Watch tonight, continuing concern over higher interest rates sent the Dow to its second straight triple-digit loss today. The Dow is now 554 points off its record high set just 2 weeks ago. For the year, the Dow is still ahead 16%. The Nasdaq fell 1.5 points today and is 225 points off of its record high, but still ahead 20% for the year. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, criminal charges against Linda Tripp in the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal.
Speaker, I'm going to have to refer to my notes.
The cheeseburger sounds good, huh?
She became more than a villain.
After due deliberation, the grand jury has issued an indictment charging Linda Tripp with violating the Maryland statute that makes it illegal to record a conversation without the consent of all participants.
A grand jury meeting at the Howard County, Maryland courthouse also indicted Tripp for leaking information of her phone recordings with Lewinsky to the media. Tripp's lawyers angrily charged the indictment was to destroy Tripp.
One of the most important whistleblowers in American history is facing 10 years in prison, $20,000 in fine, to be branded as a felon.
The Tripp tapes will be forever legend in this nation's history. Tapes like the one of Tripp counseling Lewinsky on the need to keep the infamous stained blue dress, the dress that made it impossible for the president to deny his relationship with Lewinsky.
Put it in a baggie, you put it in a Ziploc bag, and you pack it in with your treasures, for what I care. What for, though? I don't know, Monica. It's just this nagging, awful feeling I have in the back of my head.
Now Tripp has become the only central figure to face criminal charges. Monica Lewinsky enjoyed immunity and wrote a book, and Bill Clinton has survived. He was in Sarajevo today, still president. Bill Jones, CBS News, Washington.
That trip to Sarajevo was for a one-day summit on rebuilding the Balkans. Serbia's Slobodan Milosevic was not invited. The 40 leaders who were pledged to promote multi-ethnic democracy and free markets throughout the region. Later, Mr. Clinton spoke to Muslim, Croat, and Serb students who will attend high school together this fall in Sarajevo. Their school had been heavily damaged in the Bosnian War. Moving to repair some damage from the most recent Balkan conflict, the United States today agreed to pay $4.5 million to the victims of the accidental bombing of the Chinese embassy in Belgrade. The money will go to the 27 people injured and the families of the 3 Chinese journalists who were killed in the May 7th strike on the Serbian capital. Still to come on the CBS Evening News, new calls for tougher gun control laws in the wake of the Atlanta massacre.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
The party's in there, so why am I out here? Gas. Again.
Maximum Strength Phazime has 33% more medicine doctors recommend.
One little pill, and I'm back.
Serious medicine for serious gas. Phazime.
Got dirty sweat stains? Spray and Wash Advanced Stain Care penetrates faster than Shout and powers out those dirty sweat stains. See? So go ahead and
let them go with Spray and Wash.
Do you dare to be there everywhere? Can you expose your toes? Or do you hide them because of embarrassing nail fungus that turns nails' colors, makes them thick or brittle? Well, now you can discover how it's possible to get healthier, more beautiful nails back. By calling this number, you'll receive a free video and learn about effective oral treatments your doctor has. This year, learn how to lose those shoes and love it. Then dare to be bare, because fungus-free nails are a bare necessity.
I just bought every overnight laxative I could find.
Why?
To prove nothing's gentler than Phillips Milk of Magnesia. X-Lax, Senecot, every one of these others contains stimulants. That one says on the label it may cause abdominal discomfort, faintness, and cramps. Phillips is the only one that's stimulant-free. Nothing's more effective, nothing's safer. Does that explain everything?
Yeah, except who's taking these back?
Oh. Phillips, safe, effective relief without harsh stimulants.
As expected, the Senate Republicans today pushed through a $792 billion package of tax cuts, similar to one passed by House Republicans, to be paid for with projected surpluses in the federal budget. President Clinton says the cut is too large. He promises a veto. The shots that rang out in the Atlanta massacre were heard clearly by lawmakers on Capitol Hill today. While it may have been loud enough to put gun control back in the spotlight, CBS's Diana Olick reports it might not be enough to spark serious change.
As Americans were still learning the details of yet one more mass shooting, their lawmakers in Congress today were taking the next step in the battle over gun control.
We need a comprehensive system of background checks to keep this kind of person
from buying a gun. We need to plug the loopholes.
Last spring, in the wake of school shootings in Littleton, Colorado and Conyers, Georgia, the Senate passed a juvenile justice bill that did include some gun control. But in its bill last month, the House knocked it out.
We don't need more gun control legislation. I will oppose all attempts to chip away at America's Bill of Rights.
That's why the odds of passing any gun control are slim, especially when faced with the powerful influence of the National Rifle Association, whose president had this response to the Atlanta attack.
There are, as I said, 22,000 gun laws. The problem is enforcing them. There's no point in having a law if you don't enforce it.
Are you optimistic that they're going to get any gun control into this bill?
I'm not optimistic, but we must not give up.
Congressman John Lewis, who represents the Georgia district where yesterday's shootings took place, doesn't believe yet another massacre will make any difference.
We have a great distance to go, and I don't think this Congress has the courage to take the necessary step to control the proliferation of guns in America.
Members of the House and Senate could begin negotiating the final juvenile justice bill next week, but no one's making any promises on guns. One thing's for sure, though, kids will be heading back to school before Congress makes much headway on the bill. Diana Olick, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, we'll tell you about some of the victims of the gunman in Atlanta.
Have you tried these yet? Specialized blends from One A Day. Not just herbs. Herbs, vitamins, and minerals for things like memory. Have you seen my keys? Where are the keys? 83. And energy. Excuse me. Excuse me. Even tension and mood. Help your body help itself with One A Day specialized blends. They're just what you need to feel your best.
Did you know that mosquitoes are attracted to dark clothing? Did you know that a poison ivy rash can appear just 10 minutes after contact? That's why there's Fast Relief, new Cortisone 10 Quick Shot Spray. Nothing goes on faster to soothe and cool insect bites and poison ivy. And among these, it's the only one with the medicine doctors recommend most to stop itch and help heal. Need fast itch relief? Try Cortisone 10 Quick Shot Spray. What are you itching for?
You won't believe your mouth with this antacid.
That's amazing.
Dissolved almost immediately.
Like, it's gone.
Introducing Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables, a whole new kind of calcium antacid for heartburn.
It dissolves quickly when you put it in your mouth. Very quick.
New Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables dissolve faster and more completely than Tums.
Didn't have to dig it out of my teeth. No grit. It's gone.
New Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewable Tablets. Quick dissolve your heartburn away.
Quick dissolve. Maalox.
From 1 Minute Maalox.
Nancy will have to see from near to far almost 1,000 times today. Her eyes will focus on 40 labels, 60 charts, and 100 smiles. And in all that time, she'll never once think about the science that allows her to focus instantly at all distances. Nancy just knows that her Verilux lenses help her see better. And for her, that's a very comforting thought. Verilux, the comfort of better vision. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-VERILUX.
As we've reported, the Atlanta shooter left a note vowing to kill the people who, quote, greedily sought his destruction. As it turns out, most of his victims had little or nothing to do with Mark Barton. CBS's Randall Pinkston has two of their stories.
He was just the nicest, kindest man ever. I mean, he'd do anything for anyone. I mean, really.
In Norcross, Georgia, Scott and Mike Quinn are coming to terms with the sudden brutal murder of their father, 58-year-old Edward.
Unconditional is the best way I can describe him.
Quinn had just retired from UPS and was a new grandfather. Day trading was a new hobby.
This is just something that he did in his retirement.
His sons say he went to Momentum Securities 3 days a week for a few hours, where he met Mark Barton.
My father was the type of person that came from with everybody. He was a very warm individual, likable personality.
They are mystified about why their father was killed. So is Risha Murali Dara, who is trying to cope with his mother's death.
When I come back on weekends or for holidays, she's not going to be there. I mean, and just because some stupid mad guy just wanted some revenge on some innocent people.
His family had been in their new home just 6 months. Rishi said his mom was trying to earn extra money to pay the bills and had just begun training for day trading 2 weeks ago. What do you want people to know about your mom?
She was a good mom. I wasn't always the obedient son. I mean, I had my share of troubles at school. I mean, whatever I did, she always stood by me.
They cling to memories. But now, families of Mark Barton's victims who once shared a hobby can only share grief. Randall Kingston, CBS News, Atlanta.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather will be back again on Monday. Now, from 60 Minutes, here's Mike Wallace.
Did this man, Dr. Wen-Ho Lee, do what the FBI and the Department of Energy suspect he did? Did he give our most closely guarded nuclear secrets to the Chinese? Decide for yourself when you meet him Sunday on 60 Minutes.
For Dan Rather, I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night and a great weekend.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online at keyword CBS News.
Do Americans really have a constitutional right to own guns? Before you answer, you'd better see an eye-opening reality check. Monday on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Warning signs for heat stroke tomorrow on Saturday morning.